Hello and welcome to TTV News, some latest event in the province and across the country. Ladies and gentlemen, on the morning of June 10, TayNinhTV Provincial Youth Union organized the Youth Festival with alcohol and summarized 10 years of implementing Directive Number 05-May 14, 2016, issued by the 12th Politburo.
After 10 years of implementing Directive Number 5 of the Police Bureau, the movement TayNinhTV study and follow alcohol staging has steadily spread and inspiring the ideals, morality and lifestyle among the young generation. Over 15,000 secondary youth-led projects has been carried out and contributing to the rural development, the urban civilization and disease prevention. At the event, the youth member listened to a theme talk titled For Alcohol About Let's Live by Mr. Đoàn Văn Hoàng, former director of Provincial Ideological Information Center, helping them better understand the President Ho Chi Minh's great contributions. On this occasion, 7 collectives and 20 individuals were also awarded certificates of merit, and 1 individual was partially commended by TayNinhTV Youth Union for outstanding achievements over the past 10 years.
TayNinhTV currently maintains an important role in the export of cassava and cassava-based products nationwide. According to data from General Department of Customs, in the first 5 months of 2025, the export value from TayNinhTV rice reaches approximately $200 million.
In the first 5 months, TayNinhTV's cassava and cassava products export accounted for more than 58% of the total export value of the sours and more than 35% of the nationwide export value for these products. At present, TayNinhTV's cassava and cassava-based products are exported to 22 international markets, including China, the Netherlands, the United States, Singapore, Algeria, France, South Korea. Among them, China remains TayNinhTV's largest export market, accounting for nearly 95% of the province's total export value.
In 2025, TayNinhTV has allocated over 6,010 billion in state budget investment by the Prime Minister and over 6,017 billion Vietnam dong by the Provincial Business Council. However, disbursement progress remains low. As of May 31st of 2025, the total disbursed capital reached just over 1,800 billion Vietnam dong, about 30% of the planned amount. The local budget disbursement was nearly 794 billion Vietnam dong, over 19% of the plan, and slightly down from the same period last year. The central government support was only around 60 billion Vietnam dong, or 3.1% of the plan, significantly lower than the previous year. Notably, foreign-funded capital has yet to be disbursed. In response, the Provincial People's Committee has urged on departments and sectors to accelerate disbursements to ensure effective investment and support economic growth in 2025.
Recently, TayNinhTV Provincial Public Administration Service Center has effectively served as the main hub for receiving and returning administrative procedure resources for citizens, organizations, and businesses. The center ensures timely and proper processing of applications, creating convenience for users. Staff at the center are highly responsible, offering dedicated and thorough guidance. Enhanced use of information technology has improved the efficiency of online application handling and reduced processing time. In May 2025 alone, the center processed over 9,400 administrative cases, with more than 99% resolved on time. User feedback through tablet-based surveys at service counters show high satisfaction, with over 1,000 positive ratings recorded in April.
Ladies and gentlemen, celebrating 100 years of revolutionary press, June 21st, 2025 is also an occasion to relax on the developments of the country's revolutionary journalism, including local press in TayNinhTV. Throughout history, TayNinhTV press has been a pioneering focus on the ideological and cultural prints, delivering news, film, and radio broadcasts that truthfully reflect life, guide public opinion, and support the revolutionary movement and social-economic development.
TayNinhTV journalism was established under the special circumstances and during the significant years of two wars for the national independence. The human rights newspaper, launched on October 5th of 1946 in Cây Trò, Ninh community of Thanh district, was a vivid testament to the spirits of wielding both the pen and the gun. And from TayNinhTV in 1954 to the Liberation newspaper in 1960, TayNinhTV's press gradually became a sharp propaganda weapon and played an important role in the struggle to liberate the South. And after the country's liberation on April 30th, 1975, the newspaper entered a new phase. On October 5th of 1976, the TayNinhTV Provincial Party Committee issued a decision to establish the party's provincial press agency under the name TayNinhTV newspaper, accompanying the work of building and protecting the country in the peaceful era. Alongside that, on November 1st of 1975, TayNinhTV radio station broadcast its first program and making a new milestone in local media development. In 1993, the first television programs aired on the channel of K11 VHF. And since then, the TayNinhTV radio and television station has continuously invested in the technology and improved the content quality, affirming its role as an official close to the people information channel. And in an interview, Mr. Nguyễn Văn Thọ, former director of the TayNinhTV radio and television station, nostalgically shared the memories of a difficult time, but the proud era for those who working in radio and television station. During the war, working in the radio and television journalism required a great courage, and the reporters dared not to go directly onto the battlefield, so they had to spread themselves to accurate and truthful works, making the most of unavailable equipment, which was not as readily as accessible as it is today. And since the liberation and national unification on April 30th of 1975, for 50 years, TayNinhTV's press has accompanied the development of the homeland and the country across all fields from agriculture and industry to healthcare and education, achieving many notable successes. And not only reflecting the breadth of life, the press also plays the role of a bridge connecting between the party, the government, and the people, helping promptly propagate the policy guidelines and the laws to all social strata. And 2024 is an important year in implementing the social economic development goals for the 2021 to 2025 period in TayNinhTV province. Determined to create the breakthroughs, especially in industry, the party, government, and the entire political system of the province have deployed many synchronized solutions with a strong, timely, and accurate direction and management. Along with that is the consensus and efforts of the business community and on social classes, and creating a combined strength that continues to promote comprehensive social economic development with positive results in most fields. Amid the achievements, TayNinhTV Press continues to affirm its role as a pioneering force on the ideological and cultural front, acting as a connecting between the party, the government, and the people. We must mention the role of media agencies and the press and reporters working in the TayNinhTV province who closely coordinate with the province to promptly reflect the party policies. The local authorities will proactively enhance coordination with the press agencies and support and facilitate the reporters working in the province to timely convey the policies and activities, especially the major provincial socio-economic development policies, contributing to security, and it is crucial to achieve the goal set for 2025. Accompanying the flow of history, the revolutionary press of Vietnam in general and TayNinhTV Press in particular continues to assert its pioneering role on the ideological and cultural front. And with a spirit of responsibility, sensitivity, and a strong political bravery, the press remains an important connection between the party, the state, and the people, helping to consolidate the right national unity bloc and continue leading the country into a new era, the era of Vietnam's rise.
Turn to domestic news, ladies and gentlemen. During his visit to France for the third United Nations Ocean Conference in Nice on June 9, local time, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính have a meeting with French President Emmanuel Macron.
Both leaders expressed their determination to further strengthen bilateral relations, positioning each country as a strategic gateway to Asia and Europe. The region has exchanged at all levels, especially high-level visits to reinforce political trust and review and remote cooperation agreements. They also discussed regional and international issues of mutual concern, agreed to closely coordinate in promoting cooperation with Africa, the Middle East, and Latin America, and reaffirmed their support for maintaining peace, stability, and freedom of navigation and overflight in the sea, in accordance with international law, particularly the 1982 UNCLOS. The leaders also committed to enhancing maritime cooperation, including developing the blue economy, maritime security, coastal protection, and marine environment conservation.
And also on this occasion, the Prime Minister of Argentina met with the Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez. The two leaders discussed the ways to build on the outcomes of recent visit to Vietnam by the Spanish Prime Minister, and they agreed to effectively implement the EU-Vietnam Free Trade Agreement and the newly signed bilateral financial cooperation protocol. And they also committed to convening the first section of the Joint Committee on Economic Trade and Investment in 2025 to fully leverage potential and complementarity of both economies, aiming to raise bilateral trade turnover to over $8 billion in the coming time.
Dear audience, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs recently held an international seminar, Thai Building Ho Chi Minh Space as Vietnam Overseas Representative Office, to exchange and share experiences in establishing this space abroad. These are not only cultural destinations, but also places to connect the overseas Vietnamese community and sincerely, but especially and sustainably promote Vietnamese value to local brands.
The Ho Chi Minh Cultural Space will become a common identifying symbol of Vietnam's representative officers abroad and serve as a multifunctional area for political activities, cultural events, serving the overseas Vietnamese community and the staff of these officers, and formal value for diplomatic activities. Building the Ho Chi Minh Space requires input from researchers and experts in culture, history, design, and fine arts to ensure dignity, affordability, and effective use. We especially value the experience of foreign embassies in Vietnam, which have successfully created cultural spaces, honoring their national leaders and figures. Your rights and sharing will be invaluable resources for us to implement this effectively, cohesively, and with international status.
So I think it's a great idea. I think that Vietnam is really a champion of cultural diplomacy. Vietnam has been doing an incredible job to promote Vietnamese culture both inside Vietnam and outside Vietnam. And so I think putting together these spaces, cultural spaces that also remember Ho Chi Minh, his life and his legacy, and what his work and what he did during his life means to Vietnam. Vietnam has been doing an incredible job to promote Vietnamese culture both inside Vietnam and outside Vietnam. And so I think putting together.
At the seminar, delegates also share experience on building Ho Chi Minh cultural spaces in a way that ensures symbolism, solemnity, yet remains close and lively.
On June 9, at the National Assembly, Chairman TayNinhTV received Australian Ambassador Gabrielle Burt on the occasion of her starting her term in Vietnam. And during the meeting, the Ambassador Gabrielle Burt informed that the Australian government regards Vietnam as a key partner in the Southeast Asia economic strategy towards 2040. And he also thanked the chairman for promoting cooperation between the two countries' parliaments and emphasized that the Australian Parliament values its relationship with Vietnam's National Assembly. The chairman TayNinhTV congratulated the Australian Labor Party and the Prime Minister Anthony Albanese on their recent victory in the 48th parliamentary election. He expressed his pleasure that Vietnam-Australia relations are at a very positive stage and proposed that both countries work to effectively implement the economic cooperation, continue opening the markets and aim to increase bilateral trade to $20 billion and double two-way investment.
On the occasion of attending the third United Nations Ocean Conference, Mr. Phạm Minh Chính also met with Mr. Andre Achulei, Director General of the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, or UNESCO. The Prime Minister congratulated the Director General on UNESCO's recent achievements and expressed gratitude for UNESCO's support and cooperation with Vietnam over the past 50 years, as well as the positive development of the comprehensive, substantive and effective partnership between Vietnam and UNESCO. He cordially invited her to visit Vietnam soon and hoped that UNESCO would continue to support Vietnam's heritage nominations.
Ladies and gentlemen, in early June, the rice field along the Ngô Đồng River at Tam Cốc, Bích Động tourist area, Hoa Lư City, Ninh Bình Province, are in full harvest, glowing golden with the giant carp leaping over the Brigan's Gate, puddings covering nearly 10,000 square meters.
The Tam Cốc rice fields have long been cultivated not just for food, but also to attract tourism. In 2018, the International Science Business Insider named Tam Cốc one of the five most beautiful rice fields in Vietnam, highlighting it during the annual Golden Huế Tourism Week. Everything is done by hand without machinery. There are no rules, so we travel by boat. It's hard work, but we have preserved this tradition and culture for generations. The Tam Cốc harvest season uniquely attracts both domestic and international visitors, blending nature with the creativity and labor of local farmers. Whenever stressed, I come to Ninh Bình to enjoy the peaceful and rest atmosphere, surrounded by rice fields and mountains. Though it's hot, the environment here is very relaxing and enjoyable. During the tourism week from May 23rd to 31st, 2025, Ninh Bình welcomed about 485,000 tons of visitors, a 70% increase from 2024, generating approximately 750 billion Vietnam dong in tourism revenue. This demonstrates the strong appeal of Ninh Bình Tourism Week and the Tam Cốc rice fields. Through these fields, farmers, along with local authorities and businesses, work together to preserve cultural and natural heritage value for sustainable tourism development.
That's all for today, TTV News. Thank you for being with us, and goodbye for now.